recording. All right. That'll do it. Let me know if you can see it. Should be like this title supports autosave.
Again.
Waiting for it to show
We are
up.
live.
Yep, there's a white screen. Oh, it's a big 3D island that fucked you over.
Yeah. And it's actually kind of cute that like this big 3D island is explicitly Sonic 3D Blast Island.
Hey, there it is.
Each island is very much
Home of many of my childhood. Oh, why am I still playing this?
Yeah, you know, right? They're all there. I suppose the proper way to do this would be to do like, you know, all of them mode. But screw that. I'm just gonna play Sonic 3.
That's the one that gets re-released the least. So
yeah, so you know, this is the
Sonic
one.
3 and Knuckles.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Yeah, it is mildly irritating that they are only available in their combined form. Not that there's any reason to play Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles separately, but like, you know, it's the thing.
for completion and preservation's sake.
Yeah, exactly. But all right.
I mean, you got to see that opening with Knuckles doing his hair.
I mean, yeah.
All right, so I guess we should like do the whole like, hey, I'm starting streaming. Like, let's introduce ourselves thing. Nah, fuck that. Let's just go.
Yo, it's your boy.
It's your boy.
Goggle Bob is talking, and also Beat is talking, and also I, Family Master, am talking, and also sometimes Genie will talk, but more soft-spoken.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Pooch. Knock, knock. It's something. Oh, that's
We
very
get
cute.
the opening animation here.
What an egg.
I enjoy him rolling out of his.
Yeah. Knuckles
I'm just throwing a
tapping him
tantrum.
on the shoulder like, yo.
Yo, why do you want that?
Hey, that's
Not
my
yours.
cool
AJ
rock.
Vark says hello.
I mean, you figure Robotnik's gonna have a natural fear of any animal only where it seizes at this point.
Yeah.
In gloves.
I love that Tails has 9 tails in that one, like a kitsune.
Yeah, no, much more powerful Bob.
Yeah.
Also much older.
Yeah.
The rules of Kitsune are very complicated, but also not complicated at all.
Which is
But yeah,
clearly
that was
what
really
puzzles
cute.
were up today.
Probably the best edition they've made.
Go on with Tyson Heist. Or Heist. His animation.
Yeah.
Oh
it looks
yeah.
like it.
Yeah, no, it's really nice animation. All right. So we can play as, you know, we have all the options. Pretty standard shit. So let's just go.
I'll say hello to AJ Vark, by the way.
Who
Hello,
forgot you were
AJ.
on Twitch? Knuckles presents drum and bass.
Okay, so
Hey,
like, one
it's,
thing this game
wider.
does is it adds the drop dash to literally every game, and it's
And apparently,
destroying.
that's the source of a bug in it.
Oh yeah, no, apparently this is not like a problem-free edition. This has caused problems.
And
God,
it's not
I
clear
almost-
how it had caused problems because of the arcanity of programming.
Yeah. Wait, shit.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
I
kinda
guess that did not
surprised.
go well. Coincidence.
Did you? Are you kidding me?
We'll do it.
You got 100 coins!
Yeah.
That was actually
Yeah,
Beat
for
just trying to
pre-ordering.
show off an important feature, so...
Yeah. Like I have 100
Beat wins
coins
again.
because I pre-ordered it.
Also, apparently the music doesn't speed up with these.
It doesn't, and that is annoying. Because, like, you
Oh.
know,
Because it's actually very appealing, like, that makes them feel more fun.
yeah, like that adds to the feeling, right? There are lots of there are tiny details, so tiny that you almost feel bad complaining about them, but they are still problems, and the fact that they were not addressed feels bad.
I
the
feel
game-
bad for the developers because knowing them, they're the kinds of people that know every single one of the things that's
Oh
wrong
yeah,
with this version.
like you ask Stealth, Simon Tomley is one of the guys who worked on this. Apparently he has had some very unkind things to say about his experience with it. And I don't blame him at all.
Apparently mostly to do with, actually working with Sega higher up as hell. Which, not surprising.
No, not surprising at all. But, like, still bad.
We would like to make a Sonic the Hedgehog game as good as possible. No, we would like it out by...
We would like it out
apparently,
by
this was, from what I've heard, this was apparently, if it wasn't out then, if it wasn't ready to be out by now, they probably would have just killed this project entirely, so...
That seems like a strange attitude to have, because, it's fucking Sonic 3. It's...
We already have Sonic
Hedgehog but they see it as marketing for Sonic Forces. Not Forces. Whatever the new one is. Frontiers.
The next one.
Yeah, they see it as marketing for Sonic Frontiers.
Be that as it may, Sonic Frontiers looks like it's going to be divisive, to say the least.
100%.
I do like that you can still do this thing where you can spin dash push it. That's the sort of stupid detail.
That's such an obscurity.
I did not know you could do that, and I replayed this game 1,000 times.
No, not as many thousand times
it's super unintuitive in every fashion.
This here annoys me though. The entire point of this little cutscene was always just, hey, it just sort of starts immediately. Instead, it just drags you into the middle of the screen and starts. It feels like a cutscene instead of just a weird thing that happens while you're playing. It's like I said, it's small but it annoys me. And that's the.
Also, there's a little guys in the background going around too.
Oh no, those were there in the original.
Those
were there in the original.
They were.
They were.
Yep.
Huh? I never.
Can confirm.
It's been a while since I played it.
It's it's a game from it's a game from '94.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Fun fact: the version that I had to play growing up was the PC version.
Ugh.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
I mean, there are worse versions, probably. The Gamecom version is worse.
Oh, well, the Gamecom version is legendarily bad.
Yeah, no, I'm just making a joke. I'm trying to think of because this is not ported nearly as often as the others. If we're talking about Sonic 1, it's I can come up with 5 versions that are horrible. But you get to Sonic 3, and it's this does not get ported that often, largely because of music rights.
I will have shit to say when that comes up. I will have shit to say, and it will not be polite.
All I can say is that the only new track that not speaking of the mixes used, but the only new track that absolutely can't measure up to the original track in terms of its composition is Ice Cap.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, I don't know, it's not even just the track used, it's the vibe of the track. And that's such a bullshit asshole thing to say. But, it's super obvious with Ice Cap, but it's true with the other two as well.
Yeah, but also I kind of hate Carnival Night's original music, so
I was going to say Carnival
Night bugs me less than the others, but you are right to hate the original version of Carnival Night because that is. But it had personality. I'd never
Carnival in my
despised it like so many others did. I won't say you're wrong for despising it, but I never truly disliked Carnival Nights. Weird.
Pete, I have to thank you for being yet another person who, after the first bonus stage, says, "Nah, I'm not worried about rings anymore."
Especially because you're playing Sonic 3,
I have
you don't need to
perfectly
continue.
scored literally all of them. I'm just not doing it this time because that's something you can do with the original as well. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a good addition. Shield upon respawn. That's interesting, but not the shield that I had, because I had a fire shield. That's what killed me.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. That seems more like a bug.
I think it's because when I hit the checkpoint, I had a bubble shield.
Yeah, you had the thing, and then the mini game
and it preserves the number of rings I had too. I'm not starting from 0. So interesting.
I bet we took a major hit there.
Yeah, mine just took a dump.
Whoa, it's still running fine for me. Is it just a streaming issue?
It just came back on this
Yeah,
episode.
yeah, I think it was just a minor issue.
Also, AJ Vark wants an invite to the Discord call.
Who?
AJ Vark.
On the Twitch chat.
Do I know who that is off the top of my head? Oh, Ajavark! Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure, we can do that. Hold up. Tell him to DM me on Twitter, or I'll take care of this real quick.
Mm-hmm. I think they can hear you, but yeah.
Let's see, hold on, I have a second here. When I do that, does the screen go black?
Oh yeah,
'Cause
sure. Just let Angel Island burn. That's cool.
That's the way it
The
works.
screen did not. Yeah, the screen did not go black. It just seems to have paused.
Okay, well, it is paused. Good.
Yep.
But that's a good thing. Okay, so... all right, sure. I don't save this.
Bob.
Oh, yeah. I know this dude. All right, yeah, sure. Yeah, the way you were pronouncing his name made me go, what, who? Yeah, all right. 2 seconds here.
I'm just assuming that Beat pronounces it Adjvark.
No, I just call him by his normal name.
Aardvark.
Invite.
Hey, Gogglebob. Remember when you were playing Sonic 06?
Good times.
I'm in finally.
Hello.
Hey, how you
Welcome.
doing, man?
Doing all right. Yesterday I somehow went to bed before midnight, surprisingly enough.
Hey, ain't that a miracle?
Congrats.
Yay.
Yeah, no.
We're watching Beat playing
How
Sonic
do
the Hedgehog.
how do I pronounce
I'm
your
watching you
handle?
play Sonic 3 also, yes.
How do I pronounce your handle, AJ?
You can either, you can call me either Aaron or AJ, but saying Adjvark phonetically is also fine. AJ Vark is also fine. I'm not particularly picky about it.
All right, awesome. I'll just go with AJ if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
All right. Yeah, AJ, for everyone else on this call, is somebody I know in real life.
Whoa.
No,
yeah.
I heard.
You exist?
Yeah, Florida
I've met
exists.
Beat in real life. Florida doesn't exist, though.
Florida's
Why
a
not?
It
Florida.
exists in a
Florida
weird
in real life.
dimension. You're either in Florida or you're not in Florida.
Yeah, no, like Florida is a binary system. It's either Florida or it doesn't exist at all. The outside world is a cruel lie they made up for us to make us Florida people feel jealous.
Just sell T-shirts to Florida.
Yes.
It's like, how do you know everyone? Shit, we all went to Florida together.
We all went to Florida together.
I have been to Florida, and I will not do it again.
Understandable. It's not for
I'd
everyone.
probably do it again.
I mean,
just
you
for-
totally would. If I invited you and was like, "Hey, come to Florida and watch me drink beers," you'd be like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, no, that's what I was about to say. I'd probably do it.
We have what's
Here's
known
pretty
as the shield of humidity, which
you-
is basically this solid layer of humidity that keeps Florida separated from the rest of the world.
Did you
Oh,
just
yeah?
say good stream idea? The idea of me sitting there watching you drink beers.
No, I just said you would come to Florida to watch me drink beers. I never said
I
that
would do
be a
it, but I
stream
thought I heard the
idea.
word good stream idea.
I mean,
I said that.
Okay.
okay,
keep
we
it
have
like-
an answer now.
We have resolved the
We have
question,
resolved this
and
confusion.
Choco Bob apparently thinks the idea of listening to someone watch someone else drink beers is extremely good streaming content.
I mean, that's all I do every time I'm the streamer.
Upwards
Y'all
of
are-
8 viewers.
Y'all are literally
Yeah,
just
but
listening
usually
to
you're
me drink
playing a
beers like
game in
that.
the process. Goggle Bob implied that he wanted to watch just you drinking beers.
Well, at that point, it's just a podcast, isn't it?
Yes.
No, that's a bad podcast. There's a difference.
Still a
Look,
podcast.
any group of white men congregating is known as a podcast.
That is true. Sadly. Alrighty. But yeah, no, moments like this one, where I'm just playing the game normally, it's a perfectly acceptable port of Sonic 3.
It's like
Although that shouldn't have happened.
it's like you're playing a very fine-tuned ROM hack but
Yeah.
it's on an emulator, but not an emulator for PC. It's like an emulator for like PSP or something. But it still runs fine. You're still able to enjoy it. It's
Yeah, like there's
oh,
no
that-
part of the game that I'm like offends me. It's and like as somebody with like big and important opinions, shut up. Yes, I do. I have them on Sonic games. Okay, but like that shouldn't have happened because like that's an explicitly electric attack. I should have been
The
shielded.
thing
from
is,
that.
the thing is, Freedom Planet 2 finally got a release date, and Freedom Planet 1 is kind of like gaslit me on 3 and Knuckles, because I thought, like, the lightning shield would make you immune to spikes in this game, because Freedom Planet also has, like, colored shields, but they're based on, like, the 5 Chinese, like, alchemical elements, like fire, water, wood, earth, metal, and
Okay.
the metal one, I think, just straight up
I
makes
know
you,
this
like,
works.
you could walk on
There
spike.
we go. Come on. Hey.
Tails has a short
Tails!
attention span.
What have you done? Get down here.
I think you
He's
can use the
6-year-old.
same command and he'll come back to you. Yeah, there you go.
What are you doing, like, tapping up twice?
Yeah, like if you hold up a double jump and hit doubles, he will do the pickup. This is Sonic
I've been watching
Complete
another,
is a extremely
like-
good ROM hack, and like the fact that like you can do this with one player is actually new because you can't do this in Vanilla Sonic 3.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's
The funny thing is also regarding what is it? Tail
Right.
the PowerPoint mode. Stream is going PowerPoint mode for a moment.
yeah.
Or
that's-
not PowerPoint, but like mosaic mode.
Well, that ain't no good.
It's fine. It's expected of a fast game. It means the game is going really, really fast.
It's the blast processing and so is
Yeah,
everything.
Hey,
processing
it's like-
too many blasts.
You said like
Sega
like
does what PC can't.
Sonic Frontiers being kind of divisive. That's just every Sonic game.
No, it is. The Sonic fandom is a hell pit in which there's no escape. That
This
said,
one-
even based on what little I have seen as the Sonic fan, is questionable at points. Like I
I'd say
see
it
stuff
looks
and I
like-
go, I'm not so sure about that.
I think it's a nice breath of fresh air. I've heard good things about how it controls, but you know, like I'm always like cautiously optimistic. I don't really have any like investment in it in the Sonic series that much, honestly. Like it's
Yeah,
kind of just
I was raised on
if you
this
get a
shit.
bad game, it's like it's like if it's a good game, it's like oh nice, and if it's a bad game, it's like well maybe we still have the good ones.
Alright.
But I think like this is it's something different and something nice to people want.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's gonna be like an interesting one,
Yeah.
which is nice and important.
But we all know what the fans really want, though. Shadow 2!
I don't think anybody in the world wants that, which means it's now.
I
the
mean,
only
it
thing I
wouldn't say
desire.
no.
Yeah, I'm gonna get supersonic really quick so soon.
Shadow
I don't
2,
know.
the quest for more shadows.
Got it. There we go.
One person would want that. I feel like I know the same person, but I also don't. I might not. I don't know. I feel like we all know at least one person who would want that.
I mean, I never even played the original Shadow, but I would absolutely.
I never
play
played the
Shadow.
original Shadow either. I just think it'd be funny.
I mean, when you consider the reaction to the trailer at the end of the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, like, I wouldn't doubt it being a thing that happened.
Did they get fucking Platinum to co-develop it or something? Or wait. No, they get. No, you know what? No, it should be Shadow Doom Mod. That probably already exists. Wait, shit, Sonic Robo Blast 2 is already a thing.
I actually know the guy who started that project, AJ.
Cool.
Yeah, Johnny Wallbank. Fucking great dude. Like, I don't think anybody in the history of the Earth has ever had anything mean to say about Johnny. Just one of God's own prototypes, that guy.
Yeah. One of a kind.
Hey, I hope you guys like holding right for 30 seconds.
Is that all Sonic games?
Wow. Fucking dissed.
That's a
What a
low
mean thing to
blow.
say.
Fucking dissed.
You set me up.
That's a
No, I
Sonic Rush,
gave
though.
it to you. I lobbed that one underhand straight over the plate. Wouldn't be wrong for you to knock it out of the park.
Oh, Merlin.
Oh, hey Merlin, what's good? One thing I'm noticing, and it's not like a huge deal, but like so many other things, none of my complaints are huge deals, but they're all like
Happy
stuff
birthday,
that,
Merlin.
that make me go, well, that shouldn't have been an issue. Is like I'm finding loads of moments where I jump and can't use the
Wonder how long I was
the shield shield bonus move, which is weird. Like, why can't I do that? This should be
It's
easy.
because it's all running inside. It's a retro engine running inside Hedgehog engine, and I guess your input gets like, if you're doing it too close to one another.
Well, it's not even that.
excited.
Like, it's stuff like when I jump in certain circumstances. I think it has something to do with like the roll mechanics of all things.
Plausible.
Perhaps.
How long was I muted? Anyone got any idea?
Oh, not long. Like, we were speaking
Okay, thank God.
very recently. But sorry about that.
It's the Megamind.
No, it's
film.
not. It was me muting myself. So I was trying to work out how long.
Get it? Because Megamind says Metrocity, and then Brad Pitt is like, it's Metro City.
I assure you, I've never seen that.
It's okay, that you get it.
No, I
Get
don't.
it. Okay, Megamind
I
says
refuse to
Metrocity.
get it. You cannot
And then-
explain
How
it
bad
to
am
me.
I sound right now?
I am. As far as I'm concerned, that I have seen Megamind. I do know what you're talking about. I am intentionally refusing to understand.
I know. Okay. So which camp are you on in regards to this level thing?
I'm in the camp that states it's Hydro City because it is a city underwater.
I know, like maybe one. I've only seen one person who vehemently defends like it's Hydrocity, and I'm like, no.
It doesn't really track with literally any of the other.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
about to
they're
say,
all
the
two-
other
they're all
roles aren't
two
really
words.
puns.
They're not puns, and they're all 2 words. The very rare ones that aren't 2 words are things like Metropolis.
Is my sound on?
It is now.
It is now, yes.
Okay, awesome. Anyway, to answer your question as to why the jumping doesn't seem to work with the shields, your controller is probably registering a spurious up press, maybe from the dead zone on an analog stick. But what's supposed to happen is that when you press up and double jump, that gets Tails into a flying state. I think that's what just happened a second ago while you were doing the spin dash somehow. Like it registered him as trying to fly up for some reason. And so when that happens, like, shields are intentionally deactivated so that you can actually control jumping into Tails.
Well, that's cool, but it's also dumb.
Yeah,
You have a lot more buttons than you had on the Genesis. They could have just had that.
yeah,
They
I
gave
probably
you
could.
3. They
They could've
oh, I
given
see
Tails
what
his
you're
own
saying.
controller.
I mean, like giving
I'm sure
Tails its own
two-player
control
Tails works
is
properly,
is
but-
the old-fashioned way of doing it. And there's something to
Yuji
be said.
Nako's like, no, the game needs to only use one button, and then he just... Did you guys see the
That's the
fucking
thing
shit
with
that
that guy.
Yuji Naka did? On, like, Twitter today?
Today? No.
Oh, what is it this time?
Are you talking
So,
about
he's
Naka,
like,
or,
happy 20th anniversary, or was it 20th? It was,
Past 20th.
happy birthday night. And here's what he... I'll just post this
For
in,
nights, it would be 25th.
What channel? Fuck, post it in general. This is what he posted. Look who he blacked out. That's Naoto Oshima, who was the director of Nights.
Wow.
He straight up dolled him.
I mean, that's
That took
pretty.
some effort.
If you know Yuji Naka's history of
He's
personal
fucking
pettiness,
petty.
it's not surprising.
Yeah, no, he's
He's also in the middle of a very public dispute with Oshima, so unsurprising.
Happy birthday to everybody but this guy.
Like,
particular.
basically he was also complaining on Twitter today that, like, other people were talking behind his back about how he needs to be removed from the Balan Wonderworld project.
But bruh,
And
you
one
were
of those
doing
people
that with-
was Oshima, so that's part of why he's doing that shit.
Oh yeah, I can see
So-
that.
So I gotta wonder how much of this is like ours that's like actual fault or like you know it's everyone's.
I mean, the answer is almost assuredly Naka wasn't helping,
yeah.
Yes.
because by all accounts he is like a miserable human being to actually work with.
Oh
despite
yeah,
being a
like
genius
everything I've heard
programmer.
about him indicates that he is just like on the short list of worst bosses imaginable.
He's the house
Yeah.
MD of programmers.
But yeah,
Anyway,
like
who's the newest voice in the chat? Is that Muteki?
Yes.
Hey
Yes, it is.
Muteki, what's good?
Doing all right. I got COVID.
That
oh
sucks.
boy,
Sorry.
congrats.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I thought it was a flu for a really long time, and then my wife was
And
like,
then
"You
you
still
had
have
it
a
for 2
test.
weeks.
You should take a test."
Wait
And
a
I
minute.
took the test, and the line was like, you could see it from space, I believe was the term
Mu-
I used elsewhere.
Wait, Muteki, were you from Did you used to be on HG 101?
Yes. I haven't in quite some time, but that's
Oh
true.
my
yes.
god. Same. I wrote a few articles for them back in the day.
I think I did like one per Ristar, but that was it.
I did like a bunch for like a bunch of random ass games.
Wow, I'm
House of
bringing
Crashers.
everybody together tonight. Holy shit.
No.
Merlin, don't talk about that.
Merlin, talk about
Yeah, we're not
I
doing
choose
that.
violence.
No, we're not. If
I-
you're
I-
talking
I
about
posted
that,
a
I'm
thing.
piecing out.
I don't know if you saw a screenshot of your tweet because I saw like just this. Let me get the. I'm just gonna post in general again.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
Never
post it.
before have I seen such a wide array of reactions of people looking at this. Like, one people just being like, no, Fistu, Oofy, the Fimpy, the Scrimbus. And then I have another mutual. Well, actually, they're not mutual, but first one wasn't. Second one is like clever to interpret like the hair is an undercut, like, but the glasses are not good. And then you were like, wow, I really fucking hate it. Ruby looking bullshit. Just reactions all across the spectrum.
Oh, are we fucking talking about Trigun? Because
We're talking
This
about
is the thing that I was
Right,
saying, where if
okay.
we get distracted by this topic, I am literally piecing.
All right.
I mean, I'm with Beat on this one for what it's
I
worth.
was trying to be polite and not talk about it because Fanboy and others are fucking sick of hearing me talk about it. But but I guess we're doing this shit now.
There is 40
Ellie,
seconds
are
of
you
footage of
muted
this
on purpose?
goddamn anime, and you've made 40 fucking tweets about it. I'm done.
I know, and that's fair. That's reasonable. But every one of
His
those seconds
$60
pisses
billion
me off so
food
fucking
ban.
bad.
The crazy thing is, like, I've also seen people, like, being, like, excited about it, and I've seen people share your opinions, and then there are other people who are just like, interesting. It's like,
Trigun is important to me. Trigun is
it's important
one
to
of
a
my
lot of people.
favorites. It's not my favorite anime. It's my favorite manga. That's
Trigun is, like, partially responsible for us having highly detailed posable action figures. Because Naito decided to collaborate with Todd McFarlane, and then that led to, like, Rebel, and then that led to there being a market for stuff like Rebel Tech.
I don't give a
And,
shit about any of that. No, Trigun's important to me because of its philosophy, because of the things it says. It is a work of art about radical pacifism and the toll that having such a philosophy can take on you.
Guns.
And this is reflected in literally everything about Vash. Vash has no shame. Vash has no like goal other than for everybody to live and be okay. That is all he is. That is the only thing he wants, and he will do literally anything for that to be the case. And this is reflected in his character design. This is reflected in like his attitude. It is literally the entire thesis of the show. It is doing this is objectively good, but it will fuck you up.
I need to get back to watching the show. I watched a little bit back in high school, but I think because at the time I was using like Pirate Bay, and the rep I had was like, it wasn't even like 720 by 480. It was some crazy low, like 512 by something or other resolution.
240 by $1.50.
But like,
Yeah.
but this is like sort of getting into spoiler territory, depending on how many episodes you watched. But
I watched
well,
like single-digit numbers, so
Okay, okay.
I actually want to
This-
get
this
back.
That
to
never
stuff-
even reached the main
this
plot.
stuff I think comes up relatively soon. But like, one of Vash's arms is prosthetic. He is missing an arm. In the show, this is an actual reveal. It's a reveal in the manga too, because there is no indication that either of his arms are anything other than just a normal arm. And when we see like the reveal of that, it's actually a big important moment. Like, holy fuck, that was mechanical this whole time. You don't have two arms. And in the next episode, we see him shirtless for the first time, and instead of him being like,
Okay, I've
a
seen
shirtless
Preacher.
guy, he is literally bolted together by actual pieces of metal because his entire
legs
body
scarred.
is so fucking ruined. He cannot. It is difficult for him to stand on his own power. He is destroyed. He is damaged beyond like whatever should ever happen to a human, which is another like reveal, but not as important for this conversation. Because he's not technically human, but he's close. But like the entire point is, this guy's philosophy has led him to this like point where it is literally like impossible for him to live a normal life because he lives in this brutal world where everything tries to kill you, and his entire goal is to never kill anything. And as such, his body is literally skin and bones. He is incredibly thin under his gigantic stupid coat. And his gigantic stupid coat actually makes sense because the entire point of it is to hide the fact that of like the parts of him that like you can shoot and kill, and the parts that you can't. It makes him bulkier. That's the goal.
Yeah.
And the new one seems to miss all of this. It gives him like your standard heroic build. His coat is not
Maybe
only
it's
open.
maybe it's a prequel.
I don't
No,
want
it
a
is
prequel.
definitely a prequel.
The entire point. The entire point
Okay,
of Trigun is also him and his friends. Wolfwood, Meryl, and Millie, right? They are the heart and soul of the show. And like, what are you gonna do? Set it before any of those guys are even born? Fuck that.
Well, no. What I think it might be is like it'll like they show the trailer looking like that, but by the time like they'll maybe go into the actual like show territory, he'll look like he's
I wouldn't bet.
I would not assume that this, like, just to be realistic, all of the promotional material is his wanted poster, which is explicitly prequelized. It is very specifically, he has not yet caused enough disasters, or at least been blamed for enough disasters, to actually warrant a $60 million dead or alive. He is $6 million alive.
Yeah. So like,
It is very specifically a prequel. What it's doing is clearly very different. I'm not sure I like it, but I will point out that Vash not yet, like... One of the things about Vash's, like, philosophy of trying not to kill people is that it's very clear that, for the most part, he's pretty good at not getting hit, but the accretion of 100 years worth of trying not to get hit while trying not to kill people has ultimately destroyed his body over time.
Yeah.
Not as, like, one big event. And so I don't mind that he looks, healthier in this period before he has, like, taken on an accretion of damage over the course of a century.
oh, I'm
I wonder
willing
if
to
that's
buy
like
that.
he
that's
has
not,
bigger
That's
sunglasses.
not like the worst way to do it, sure. But like, if it is a prequel, I just don't want that. Like, because
I can understand not caring because it's not the thing that you wanted, but I don't think it's bad that they did it.
I kind of do. I don't think prequels are just a good idea in general. I've seen
I
very few
disagree.
George Lucas
like
already
I've
on
seen
that
good ones.
he
I've
Like, if it's
It's like
definitely
a
seen...
sequel series that takes place a million years later with Baby Trigun. Baby Vash the Stampede and the Bounty Hunter.
I don't think that you can make Vash the Stampede a bounty hunter and retain... Like, that would be a much worse
No,
portrayal.
No, Vash the Stampede is a baby. Pay attention.
That doesn't make... That's even more confusing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
They grew a
you
new
lost me.
one, and like it's a baby.
Well, then that's a
Wait,
different person. That's just another plant.
Baby Vash.
I tried watching a little bit of Kekai Sensen, and then I'm just like,
Pretty good
what the fuck is happening?
That's a pretty good show. I like that.
Trigun made a lot more sense, I think.
So also in this level is one of the areas where the changes in engine become super obvious. Sonic's top speed is higher in this version than in Vanilla Sonic 3, meaning that like when you start the level, instead of getting tossed into the little secret room and being like, oh, a neat little secret, you just hit a wall. I don't know why they increased his top speed, because Sonic 3 is already extremely fast. It's not the sort of speed increase you
speed
would
so
records
fast
have
as the
unique
Genesis,
records, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's to be like consistent with maybe it's a drop dash thing.
I would
Oh,
assume
right,
that it's
I
more
was gonna
just
say,
that's how
like-
the retro engine works.
Like they've said stuff about Sega's like, no, it has to be out now. I said like the Sega of Japan are xenophobes. What else is new? But also, there was a developers or people have data mined this and found like a rewind function that ended up not being put in the final game.
I mean, what, like just like a fucking emulator type save state thing?
Like not even save states. It's like Braid or I guess some emulators do that too.
Most emulators
Yeah, like,
have been
That
like
is
that.
something that the previous collection that this is sort of superseding did have.
The Sega Genesis one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you
Sega
do that on
Genesis
the
collection
Switch?
has that. Like I think it's in the Switch, NES, SNES stores as well. Presumably the Genesis one as well. But I don't have like,
Yeah, this thing
you know.
could, benefit from an assist mode. I say this because another person I follow is streaming this, and they're not doing great.
I mean, like,
I mean,
They're
it
not
seems like they
terribly
took
different
their
games.
thought process was that the coin idea was supposed to supersede that concept as
You know-
something being slightly less completely.
Oh,
banged.
I love that weird thing with like with those bully bits. There's like a funny image of them in like the Sonic 3 manual or design doc. I forget which, but it's like it's a scribble of Sonic. He's going like no or something. And also Merlin, you bring up Slash and Dillweed for a moment. I forgot we were talking about like Trigun there when you talking about that because it went back to Sonic. But that just reminded me of Shoes the Trout. Have you guys seen Shoes the Trout?
no.
Nope.
No,
I'm gonna search Shoes the Trout.
I'm
Here you
probably
go.
happy the person without knowing about it.
A Sonic OC raid in a Discord call. Shoes
I mean,
the
there's
Trout.
probably a lot of those.
Yeah, there's
And
gotta
the
be millions of
original-
those. Just Google
Shoes the
your
Trout.
name,
I can
Hedgehog.
see it.
The trout.
I enjoy
Oh,
that
Shoes
pose.
the Trout.
Wait,
It's
when
no
you say
$40 the Hedgehog, but I'll take it.
When you say they made Sonic faster,
Yeah.
is that
subtle.
just in this collection or in Sonic 3 and Knuckles?
I don't know if it's
I love
across the
Shoes
collection.
the
I've only really played this. I've only played Sonic 3 in this collection so far.
Yeah, I think it's
I
physics
just-
are universal across the game.
Yeah, I'd assume
Sonic
that's an
CD
issue.
is-
I'd assume that's the way the retro engine functions.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Sonic
Sonic
CD is
CD
noticeably-
feels so different playing like real.
What were you saying, Muteki?
Oh, sorry. Sonic CD definitely feels noticeably faster than I remember, at least in comparison to the 2011 port.
Weird.
Because
I've
Yeah,
heard
no,
that-
I
I've
went
heard
back to
admittedly not played
dissatisfaction
the
with
Sega CD
2011
version in a
port.
little while, although maybe I'll break it out just for reference.
Because this
Try
Sonic
out.
no,
version, like in
I
this
went back and
collection,
played
is
Sonic
explicitly
CD, it had the
based
same
on the
thing.
2011 port, right? Like even the menus
Yes,
and shit.
yeah. Like,
Yeah, they're
it's a
just, like,
slightly newer
hats
version
and
of the
shit
retro
in them.
engine, but I'm sure they ported all of the code.
Yeah.
It wouldn't
Alright,
surprise me if it's
that's
just something to do with the newer version of the retro engine that like fucked with the max speed.
Wouldn't surprise me though.
I would
Oh,
be
there you
surprised.
go.
Like it's still all contained within Hedgehog Engine, right?
Apparently, yeah. Apparently,
Yeah,
the
but that's like a
menu
wrapper.
Is in,
Yeah.
is in Hedgehog Engine, and that means
Rappers
everything
can still
is in
fuck
it.
shit up, you know.
I mean, they can, but I don't think that's. I would assume that
No.
more to do with other retro engines for it functioning.
Yeah. Like,
Could you
not
put
even
humans
the
in the
issues with
retro
Tails
engine?
and Sonic
Yes.
2 seem like that exactly. Because I think the
Imagine-
reason those are happening, like where Tails just doesn't despawn properly, is that there's a lot of shared code between like the single-player, two-player Tails, and the now local multiplayer Tails. So
That makes sense.
Tails code is just different enough because now the 2-player isn't actually wireless. So the spawning code for Tails is very, very different, most likely.
Well, wait, is it still like... Is it like drop in, drop out, though?
For like...
Like, if someone were playing with Beat right now and they plugged in a USB and then just press start, would they be able to just control Tails independently?
I'm pretty sure if I just plugged
I
in
think
another,
so, yeah.
another
Whereas,
controller-
like,
Yeah, that's
uh,
how Tails traditionally worked, and I would assume that that's
Yeah,
been
like,
maintained.
I would assume.
I've admittedly not tried this because I only have this on PC, and right now I only have one controller out. I could try getting out another controller just to see what it works, but Switch second controller handling is at least a little bit different, so there we go.
I would just like to...
I don't know enough to say for certain. I just think that the competition mode in particular is no longer a wireless multiplayer thing, and that changes a lot of how the game works.
That makes sense.
I was gonna say, Muteki, I want to say one thing that may come off insulting, but is not meant insulting.
That's cool.
When you first popped into Discord, and I heard your voice, I did not recognize your Discord name, so I was very confused.
Oh, yeah.
Then I was like, why do all the Sonic fans sound like Muteki? What happened?
That's true.
I was
I
like,
have
I can
that
leave
as
it at
active
their
Discord
coming out of?
voice.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Muteki, you have a really bad case of resting Sonic fan voice.
It's just one of those things where it's like, is there a vat they come out of? They all sound like that.
But I can confirm on at least the Switch version, they did separate a button for Supersonic versus.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that is.
Jumper.
I'm pretty sure that's the case here.
Yeah, which is a nice thing.
Yeah, you know, that's a good touch. I don't believe
you
they
don't
have
want
the off button, meaning that once you start, you can't stop.
That is true. Got to go into
Once
a
you
bonus
pop,
stage in
that's
Sonic 3. Can't do it in Sonic 2 at all.
Sonic 2, you can just die.
Which is another area where, I mean, I hate saying this because it feels needlessly mean, but there are so many moments in this game where I'm just like, so why didn't they just steal everything from Sonic 3 complete?
Yeah,
Retro
I
engine,
get
we
that
gotta
feeling
port it
too,
into retro.
kinda. What I really don't understand is how they partitioned the music cues. And why they retained the and Knuckles branding. They could have just had it be Sonic 3. Because there is no, like, and Knuckles to be had.
I feel
here.
like
There's
the
no Sonic
and Knuckles thing. I feel like the and Knuckles thing has to be like a Sega bit of branding. It's just like this. Is
Yeah.
how the game is
I mean,
considered.
like, the and Knuckles branding didn't like bother me at all, because like it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's the game you are playing is literally what you get when you combine them.
The subtitle is and Knuckles.
Yeah, Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
The one thing I'm annoyed with though that Mania had that this game doesn't is the Ant Knuckles mode, where
Yes. I was going to say that's
There's
what
enough.
we still need.
There's enough that's like missing from other aspects that I like. That's like 10th on my list of priorities.
Yes. I mean, I'm working
And
currently
Knuckles mode
on,
was a fun
on
extra.
Music Modder 2, so
Beat, what were you gonna say? Ant Knuckles mode was a what?
A fun extra. Muteki and I actually did an and Knuckles race. Oh, ages
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that.
that was a couple years
You
back.
lost
I
because you got
lost
overconfident.
badly. I lost badly at the very end. Like I was just losing and then I lost badly.
You were actually winning for a minute, and
I was
then
winning
you
for a
went
hot
off.
minute, and then I flew too close to the sun. Got too full of myself.
Yeah, like you went off to like take a bathroom break or
Started
something.
feeling myself.
Yeah, at that point it was also when I was finally starting to sober up a little bit, because I screwed up like all the
Your power
special
limiter.
stages at first, because I was like incredibly drunk when I did that. Like, and I'd keep
The
beer
only
too.
way
Like,
I
I
can face
picked up
this
like
Sonic.
a
This
carton
Knuckles
of
and
Bud
Knuckles
Light or
race.
something.
Yeah,
It was
I got
cheap.
all the emeralds first because all emeralds was part of the challenge, and
Yes, it
I
was.
had gotten them. But it was the Studiopolis boss is what happened.
Yes, the mini boss against the heavy
Yeah,
cop or whatever.
and I got him. I just left the room because I was like, well, I'm super mode, so obviously I'll just keep damaging him. You know, he'll just crash into the proper explosions. And everything.
Uh-oh.
I did not consider the fact that my assumption was based on the faulty premise that what was it? that
The
second
2P Knuckles
would
kept
fucking-
hitting it.
Yeah, the second Knuckles would keep getting hit by them, and prevent me from progressing.
See what you've done, Knuckles. We must never forget that Knuckles is very stupid.
Yeah, no, we must never forget that Knuckles is kind of a dumb asshole.
And that was actually just him keeping within established character lore.
I mean, can I just say that in originally playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I thought Knuckles was smart. Like, he was always the one doing the traps and stuff.
Yeah, but they're just built in.
Alright, let's see here.
Said he thought Knuckles was smart.
There we go.
I mean, he used, like, you know, he was doing all the cool stuff and stopping you all the time. Like, Robotnik never got anything done. Knuckles at least, like, tossed you down a few holes.
Yeah. Knuckles did make your life much more difficult than Robotnik ever did.
Like, his whole deal was that he knew all the trips and traps on the island.
Yeah, he's just working on the home field advantage.
Yes, no, I mean, ultimately that was the answer, but
Yeah.
in
God.
the original game that they introduced, I thought he was
I'm
kind
aware
of
that,
was
like,
on the ball.
Carnival Night Zone's theme is the most reviled of all the Sonic 3 songs, but this one just feels so lifeless. It
I know.
lacks the oomph that the original, admittedly dumb one has.
I think
find
they're,
it I find
isn't
it
there a
bouncy,
bot
but
at this
also
point
the
to
version
replace
that I heard.
the music with the Genesis
There
version?
was one like 4
There are
minutes
several.
in.
I'm going to make another one in a little while. Actually, I'm probably going to make a few of them.
Nice.
Ones.
I remember someone calling this version like, this is the audio equivalent of like holding it in 3G.
Like this composition is the one that I heard more as a child, so I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I mean, I
still
like the
response.
song well enough. I just think it's really badly rendered here. I didn't
I think it's
totally
better
love
on the
it.
second stage, but the first is really crap.
Yeah, it took me a while to really get used to it, and I think the one thing that really solidified my idea that, oh, this is a good song, and it's the way this level should have sounded, was specifically the arrangement on that, like, November 93 prototype that was released a couple years back.
Oh yeah, the
like,
prototype,
that one-
the prototype version sounds way better than this.
Yes, I know, because I think this is, like, this and the MIDI files that were produced for Sonic and Knuckles collection are pretty much exactly the same as the demo file. And they were almost certainly editing the music in-engine effectively, like up until release, or at least until they decided to switch the tracks around. So there are all of these changes and
We need to
flourishes in
create
the
a
arrangement that
Time bomb
just
for ourselves 20 years.
so
Sorry.
it's just it's just a little sad because I feel like there were all of these additional added flourishes that they could have kept in and that were literally right there. Could have just recorded them off of the Genesis. Even if you don't have the development material, I know some people who do because they released it to the dang public. But yeah, if you're not gonna record,
Someone released it to the public.
That-
but, like,
Maybe they don't
I'll be
want to. Maybe
honest.
they forgot the guy who
Sega
made it and
internal.
didn't want to credit them.
Oh, I
mean, they
swear
didn't
this
credit Michael
boss is
Jackson,
more
that didn't
difficult
stop
with
them.
things being wider.
What'd you say? What? Not the boss wider, the other.
oh, I was saying they didn't credit Michael Jackson. That didn't stop them.
Yeah, but that it did stop them from re-releasing it for a while though.
Kind of.
I love that Yuji
They
Naka,
were always-
legendary asshole that he is, just straight up fucking tweeted, "How dare they remove Michael Jackson's songs?" Like, we had like
That was
soft
incredible,
confirmation, but,
especially
like, that
because it was
like,
also-
the hard confirmation.
Wait, he tweeted. He
Yeah,
tweeted
yeah.
that like.
yeah, he tweeted
Yeah, he tweeted that.
because he was
it's like
pissed off about
the
this stuff.
Sonic TikTok channel.
It's the first. It's the first like confirmation from someone
actual
internal to
developer.
Sega, as opposed to
Well,
Brad
Roger Hector
Buster's.
hit.
Oh my god! Oh my god! The
Brad
Oh,
Buster's
man.
like Brad Buster's like memoir or whatever had also like confirmed that, but like of course
But like,
people
but
were.
like, they're like the Yuji Naka, like just tweeting out, "Yeah, of course it's Michael Jackson." It's just like
Calling them
that's
just
not-
the Michael Jackson tracks.
yeah,
Yeah, that is definitely faster than the original game there, that intro there
yeah, seriously.
into the stage. It is very obviously faster.
Yeah, like there are moments like that where it's just like really obviously faster, and they're, I don't know, like
Yeah, there's a
You
few
think that I
moments
would-
where it's a lot more subtle.
Oh, well, that's definitely something that can happen in the original, though. They can change that.
Oops.
Squish.
I do feel like
Oops. Yeah.
I do feel like a lot of this could also be forgiven if the classic modes offered were functional in terms of just being emulations.
Yeah, I kind of get that as
like,
well.
Like, if the option to just play the originals straight up as originals was there, and they weren't just like, oh, well, it's just, you know,
We've
same
done like
thing,
weird cropping to this new
but we
version.
cropped it and put lives back into it. And, like, the fact that you can't play, like, the widescreen version with lives is just such a weird fucking choice.
Yep, I don't quite understand it, but then again, you know, there are those weird new collision issues causing squishy deaths like the one you just experienced.
That's,
So
I thought that was all original. That was
it's not,
definitely felt
it's not
familiar.
quite the collision detection for deaths like that is a little bit more sensitive. Like generally, I think in the original engine, like you could get crushed by spikes that go up into the walls like that. Like the easiest way to prove this is to just go to the point right after the checkpoint in the first stage.
Oh, well, that was...
right after everything's been set afire,
Huh.
and you
Not
can't
sure.
die on those first retracting spikes in the ceiling.
Not sure if that
But
was...
like
Indeed
right
did.
there, okay, that death right there, you just had a death I saw.
That's
That
the
death
squishy.
makes sense. That's one that I think you could have pulled off in the original game.
Oh, yeah,
But the way
100%.
you did it before that, you had just run directly into some spikes that were already down, and as far as I'm concerned, the engine should not have allowed you to do that.
Okay, yeah, alright.
It should have just stopped you like a plant run.
Like, I think
I
you were
think it's
maybe just
part of
moving
what
too
you're-
fast, and it put you inside the spikes for a second. The
Okay,
collision.
okay.
Killed
Okay, if this is the biggest, like, choke point for me this evening, that's gonna be fucking embarrassing.
Oops.
Everyone has it, don't worry.
But yeah, the other thing that really gets me about the way all of the music was recorded is specifically that they recorded it off of an actual Genesis, which is really weird because the previous remakes did not do that. In fact, they changed around a little bit of the instrumentation very subtly. Mostly it's the PSG cymbals, like the white noise channel. They replaced that with like hi-hat samples of some sort. Maybe not really like clean hi-hat samples, they still kind of just sound like sort of static noise, but they're much more recognizably like cymbals than the Genesis noise channel. And in here, like, all the music, especially for Sonic 3, is just really muffled sounding and kind of noisy. The sound effects are too. The spring effect in particular was not meant to last as long as it does, and it's entirely an artifact of the game being recorded on one of the original models of Genesis that had some bizarre noise issues and a volume, like low volume bug that would cause sounds to decay way too slowly.
God, is this anything to do with the fucked up Yamahas, or is this a different problem?
It is related to that, yes.
Okay.
Like, especially by the time they were coding up the Sonic 3 engine, they were probably not using
They were
that
probably
model
looking at like later Model 1s and Model 2s.
Yes, like in fact, there was sort of this joke that I remember seeing, like people talking about how, like the quality of sprite work in Genesis games went way up when they gave everyone who was doing development and testing the newest models, because they could actually see what things looked like on the unit for the first
Oh,
time.
because they had like different video outs.
Yeah, exactly. Like some of the original models, like were very clean, but like the ones produced almost immediately after that were incredibly noisy. And then eventually they sorted it out. Like if you've ever touched a Sega Nomad, that thing has astoundingly pristine video out.
What was the deal with the fucked up Yamahas?
Oh, they sourced some really fucked up Yamahas for cheap.
Yep, they had some bad digital circuitry, and the analog decoding was extremely noisy, both for that and the video.
What are we talking about again?
Oh, just the
Genesis Yamaha.
whatever Genesis they used to record all of the sound off of. It wasn't a very good model.
I'm gonna.
It produces a
I'm
lot
going
of
to.
noise.
Okay. I'm gonna give voice to a conspiracy theory and say that
They intentionally
It wouldn't-
sabotaged this?
No, not an intentional sabotage. My argument is the kind of person who cares the most about the precise mechanics of old Genesis sound tends to be the kind of person who insists that it needs to sound like the fucked up Yamahas.
Oh, that's a distinct possibility.
Like, I have made a lot of Genesis music, obviously, and a lot of the Genesis music I have made has intentionally exploited some of those rather unfortunate effects, like to try to get more interesting sounds out of the dang thing. Like,
Imagine if they somehow got like. Did Yuzo Koshiro ever do anything for Sonic?
just the Game Gear
the
first
Master
game.
System. Yeah.
Right,
Master
yeah,
System.
that's what he ended up doing. Imagine if they got him to make these new ones, and then people would be like, finally, mainline.
I mean, he's extremely gettable, but I don't think that they're willing to pay for him.
They probably just wanted someone like Sanoa who,
Who did this and is in-house.
He's the guy
He knows enough to do it.
Like, he's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, you know, it's a live and learn, hanging on to the edge of tomorrow.
Yeah, you know.
I don't
He and like he
I
and
feel
Masaru
like-
Setsumaru were probably like the main guys behind the way that Sonic 3D Blast sounded. And I don't think a lot of
wait,
people hate how that game sounds. So
Was Sano the guy who? Because I know 3 of Knuckles was when the da 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 da. That's what that became
Yes.
the level complete theme. Was he the one
Yes.
who created? Oh,
yes, yes. If you break open the Sonic Sonic 3D Blast binary, like in a hex editor or text editor or something, you'll actually find credits for every single individual sound on the soundtrack. And the level complete music is credited both as composed and arranged by Sonoa.
Also, Burton,
Yeah.
John Burton, the like lead programmer of Back Traveler's Tales, has a YouTube channel
Director's
where
cut.
he showed off like some of the demo tapes.
The
of
tapes
Sonic.
they were
this is
sent.
this bit.
A couple of them
but-
were almost used like verbatim in Sonic Adventure, for the record.
Oh dang!
Oh, yeah.
I,
Which is
Probably not too
spoke
surprising to
Sonic
anybody.
And now,
I wonder
and now
if
he's
it's
the
Sonic 3D,
producer on
Oh
like
man!
the Lego
Oh
movies.
man! Oh man! I could! Oh good man!
Yeah.
I could! Oh shit!
Do it! Do it! Oh no!
You did
Yes!
it!
You did it! Yes!
Right.
He just flies away. He's been defeated,
man,
even
that
though
was
he. Oh wait, no.
Well, that was good.
Oh,
Nice.
Now we get to a much worse
The
song.
game just couldn't even handle the cutscene. It was just like, you know what? You broke things bad enough. We're just gonna warp you to the next
we're
level.
just gonna shove you into the next one. But oh,
I'm
this
just gonna go
song,
over here.
this song is just disappointing because I'm not saying it's a bad song. It's a perfectly fine song, but it's fucks up the
Loses the
mood
chillness
so much
of the
because it feels
fuck
like a
with it.
happy little bouncy song, whereas the Ice Cap song, the proper Ice Cap song, has like this real
Hard Times by
atmosphere
the
of like
Jetsons.
foreboding. It feels like a place
And, like,
that is
it's
full
not-
Any
of
percussion
This
samples.
isn't cool punk. This isn't cool punk enough. Actually, this to be honest, this might also be cool punk, but it's not quite as cool punk. I wish Jay Tholen were here. He's cool.
Well, my problem with it is that, like, if you listen to Crystal Egg Zone from Sonic 2, it's almost the exact same song, same tempo, same chord changes, same key, same everything. It is the Werewolves of London to
Wait,
it's
you say-
Sweet
you
Home
say
Alabama.
Crystal Egg Zone? Did you mean Mystic?
No, Crystal Egg from Sonic 2 Game Gear.
Oh.
Yes. But the problem is that this is literally just the 2-chord loop from that, rather than the sort of like B section at the end where it kind of does a more traditional pop progression centered around the dominant blah 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 chords music theory. But it's just the 2-chord loop, and it gets a little annoying after a while, and it doesn't help that this Act 1 track in particular was never completed. Like,
It
even in the
shows.
PC version, they just copied most of the data from the from Act 2 and called it a day. In the prototype, they have a really basic drum track, but they did tweak the bass line a little bit, but that's also it. So I have created an alternate arrangement. I put it up on YouTube the other day. I have done my best to try to make something workable out of this. but I'm
I
still
hope-
not completely satisfied with what I did.
You could link
I hope
that.
it does well.
I'd really like it if you link that in Techie
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that if you want.
Yeah,
This is
but
like
like,
the
It'd be
this is
pretty
like
easy to
the
get to.
I
put
Tech had
that.
a bunch of like technical complaints right there, and I appreciate all of them. But like for me, this song just sounds too happy. It sounds like a cheerful little pop number, and I'm not like one of those guys who's like, oh, I need to be edgy. But like the original one has this like atmosphere
Good
of
ambiance.
dread.
It's like, oh, you're in an ice
Impressive.
cave and there's spikes everywhere.
Yeah,
oh
it's-
shit, look out, you just lost all your rings. Oh shit.
Yeah, like there's a mood to it that is just totally
they-
absent here. That upsets me.
So I
Speaking
just
of
put
which,
it in the general
I
chat channel.
have to play about music also, I meant to say this earlier, but in movie 3, I genuinely hope we get like a cinematic version of Live and Learn.
Oh, I'm
That
sure we will.
starts-
Yeah,
I'm sure we will, and
that'd
I'm
be
sure
nice.
we'll also get the gun escape with Escape to the City.
and then BioLizard, and then the
God.
and the
If they,
I don't know.
if they just literally make the third Sonic movie just totally unchanged plot from Sonic Adventure 2, that would be like
Yeah.
one for the fucking history books.
They would also have to include like not just introduce Shadow, but also Amy and Rouge and
I was about to say Amy
and
just
just
out of
like as
nowhere.
a furry
Look,
activation.
the only thing I demand in that case is that they have to retain Knuckles having an almost completely separate story where he basically is just going through a
Just
bunch
does
of
nothing.
Yeah,
oh god, why
see
can't I
that he
remember their
kind of
name?
just went his own
Cypress
way
Elba
and then
could sell
ended
it.
up with them again.
Cypress Hill covers. That's right, Cypress Hill. Like he looks, all of his levels look like they're Cypress Hill album covers.
I mean, that sounds awesome. I fucking love Cypress Hill.
That's
Pumpkin
actually just
Hill.
going to be the Knuckles spin-off movie.
Knuckles knows you pass the joint only on the left-hand side. He may not be smart, but he does know that.
Yeah.
He's dumb.
I
not
think I've talked about this with you before, Pete, but like a lot of people I see fan casting Shadow, it's either Keanu Reeves or Robert Pattinson. But considering Keanu Reeves already exists in Sonic movie canon, I feel like Pattinson would be like maybe the better choice. I don't know.
I could see Pattinson. The only real opinion I have regarding Shadow is that Shadow's actor must be white because Knuckles' actor is black.
That makes sense.
Wait, can you explain that? Someone just popped up on the
I'm saying
on the
that,
lore.
that Knuckles is definitely black and Shadow is definitely white.
He's an edgy white boy.
He's an edgy
They're-
white boy.
it's like how people say like Piccolo is black coded. It's the same thing.
Piccolo's definitely black coded.
Like
And
Shadow,
also,
Shadow
according
is
to RZA, whose word I consider definitive, Goku is also black coded.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've also
I've
heard like
heard
the
RZA argue
Saiyans
that
are meant
for
to be
basically
like
all things.
Hispanic people. Also,
Yeah, no,
I mean, not surprising.
but like as far as
That
RZA is
explains a lot.
concerned, Frieza is the the white man in power.
Nazi.
yeah.
And he is a very large white creature.
Yes, yeah, and that's
No, no
100%
question.
accurate to Frieza.
Sonic and Dragon Ball have a lot in common though,
They
because
really do.
Supersonic.
I mean, Dragon Ball, like, Sega had been wanting to use the popularity of Dragon Ball for quite a long time.
I'm sure there's
Uh,
something in this
not the
game
least
that's
of
like
which-
influenced by Dr. Slump also.
I was more going to bring up not the least of which being Alex Kidd allegedly also involved them attempting to obtain the Dragon Ball license and failing.
Right. I believe it. I absolutely 100%
That makes
believe
sense,
that.
yeah.
I mean,
I can see that.
the other big like early Master System and Genesis titles.
I love
Were,
those icicles, in the
like,
those
uh,
icebergs in the background.
Oh yeah, no,
Zoom in
this
from.
game
What is it? It's not-
absolutely gorgeous. This level
Yeah,
is
it's
absolutely
like-
gorgeous.
Like games like Last Battle that are all based on Hokuto no Ken.
Yeah,
but they
Hokuto no
didn't
Ken
bring the license
and
over when they
Black
left.
And Osamatsu-san, or Osamatsu-kun, which, now I'm just imagining Akira Toriyama throwing an ashtray at a second creature's head.
Yeah.
I'd pay to see
then
that.
we'll
I would pay to
say
see
is-
Akira Toriyama just verbally abuse Yuji Naka.
I can't Toriyama strikes me as someone who is probably pretty chill.
Oh, Toriyama is from everything I've
He's
heard,
a guy.
Toriyama
He's
is,
a guy who just wanted to make a funny gag manga, but ended up being roped into making like this extremely long, never-ending epic.
Toriyama found himself by accident being the creator of what is widely considered to be one of the most famous pure action series of all time, and that was never his intention. And he's a little. I could imagine him being a little bit salty
Well,
about it.
he spent the last like 30 years making sure that he never has to write anything for longer than he wants to again.
Yeah, no, and he has every right to.
Yeah,
And,
no,
and, like,
100%.
it's Togashi doing like the same thing. Like, I'm gonna take as long as I fucking want in order to spite my editors.
Togashi actually has health issues.
Yeah, but like, he's also like, I'm doing it like I'm putting my health first,
Yeah.
specifically because working on my other stuff ruined my life or something.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, but that's
the
just
thing. Like,
having
the pace at which
balance.
all of these manga authors work is just incomprehensibly fast.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's a wonder anyone survives in the industry.
Like, I feel like once One Piece finishes, Oda is just going to immediately fall over.
He's gonna be saying hi to his. He's gonna be spending time with his grandchildren or something.
She deserves.
Like, I've got nothing against Dragon Ball Z, but I think, you know, being able to say, I'm not going to continue working on a thing is very, very healthy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially
no,
for guys
like, I respect
Toriyama.
like,
Because
I
Dragon Ball
always
Z went on for a
appreciate-
very, very long time.
Oh yeah.
The happy ending for any given manga author is being allowed to say, I don't have to make manga anymore unless I want to. And that's like that happy ending you get for like Naoko Takeuchi, for Suzuki Takahashi, for like a whole bunch of people who made something that's really popular and they can just live off of licensing forever.
Yeah, they never have to do it again. They're free.
Yeah. And so like that's why Toriyama will like every so often he'll do a manga that's like 20 chapters and then he'll be done.
Just had to get it out of the system.
Yeah, he's like, I have
Like-
an idea I want to do, but once I'm done, I'm done. It's not gonna last a long time.
No power between heaven and earth can force me to continue. And that's why you get like
One thing
or even
that have any of you like read like Chainsaw Man at all?
Yeah.
No.
I've been trying to get B to read it for what it's worth. But what I was gonna say is, the way that manga is set up currently is that it's been kind of divided into parts. And right now, part 1 is like 97 chapters, and it's already out. And then part 2
yeah, that one's
is
over.
going to be coming out soon. I'm just a waiting for B because he doesn't know. But essentially, what I think would happen if part 2 does well, and part of why this is like the most popular any manga has been without an anime attached to it in the States, it kind of has to do with like, God, I was gonna say, it has to do with how short it is. Like, most people I know who read it, they just finish it in like a day or two. Boom. But what could happen if part 2 does well is that we could see more manga authors putting manga into like specific parts that are like 100 or maybe a few dozen chapters in length before going on a hiatus. And essentially, manga would take a more like seasonal approach, I guess you could say. Where
I would be very in favor of that, yeah.
As much as I
Yeah.
would love to see that, you need to be super popular to get away with it.
I mean,
Yeah.
again, I think part of why Chainsaw Man has been so popular, besides, you know, the usual, the memes and the art and everything and the story, is just that you can, again, complete the whole thing in a day and a half, and you're still left wanting more.
I mean, when I finished it, I was perfectly fine with it never being part 2.
Sure, and a lot of people were, but I'm saying, like, you probably still want more of that feel, you know? Or at least a lot of people did. I don't know.
But it's one of those things where it's like, I would say that, like, if Chainsaw Man had not been huge, then he probably wouldn't have been able to get away with that.
Yeah, and it probably would have ended at, like, chapter 97, and it would have been a perfectly fine ending. But it's also a matter of, like, God, what was I gonna say? Is,
Wow, that's not responding. I'm supposed to respond.
yeah, I'm losing my mind right now. It's better for the reader because it's like, oh, it's not infinitely long, it's divided into sagas. It's better for the publisher because it can drum up more hype. It's better for the author for, like, health reasons.
I'm not arguing it's not a better system, I'm just arguing that I think that the way that the system is set up is not going to allow it to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. It is just, it is all of the pace of academia with like none of the prestige. Like it is basically if academia were solely the work of grad students and like there were no professors at all.
Wait, I thought CSM had more prestige in academia. You mean not Hiroraka, or?
No, he's talking about the
He's
like
talking about
academia
the
as a concept.
institution of academia.
Yes, I mean
Not,
yes, like
not My
literally
Hero
like
Academia.
like as in working in a university, like not a
Okay,
specific like anime series.
I thought you were talking about Hiroraka for comparison, like.
Oh no, I get that. I get why you're confused, but no, that is not what I meant. I meant like literally because I spent a decade in between college and grad school, so. Actually,
It's
I
like
spent
the
nearly
other-
a decade in grad school on its own. 'Cause,
What are you majoring in?
I started in physics and then moved over to computer science.
Nice.
But like,
I also
'cause
went straight to grad school, and I don't think I gained anything from it, personally.
I mean, for me, it was mostly just trying to find a place where I could hide out while the economy crashed all around me.
Oh yeah,
And it-
no, good
so
point.
worked for that.
Understandable.
Good Emma, good just
Our
not
generation
a
is
bad way to
familiar
go
with
about it.
I mean, it wasn't a great experience, but it gave me what I wanted, which was enough credentials to say that I know what I'm doing about computers, and
I mean,
a
but,
paycheck for a while that was from something that was at least a little bit better than Walmart.
something at least.
I got him. I went straight to grad school. Like after college, like there was no separation period for me at all. And then from there, pretty much went straight to the workforce for a company that I just recently found out got bought by some shady investment group out of the Cayman Islands. So
Always
So-
fun.
kind of glad I'm not there anymore.
How long until you? How long do you think it'll be until they pivot to crypto?
Oh, I would be shocked if they hadn't already. Thing is, though, they are nominally in education above all else, which doesn't seem quite as. I get fucked about it. Oh shit! I can't turn it off. I just assumed it would
Yep.
turn off.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's what
started
it did
listening
in
to
the
fucking
original
Super
Sonic 3
theme
and Knuckles.
during this
They
cutscene.
stopped the timer and everything, and now you gotta be super the whole time.
This is extremely
I don't
funny
like
looking
this
though.
change. I don't like letting the timer run. And when the timer doesn't run, you detransform automatically.
I have 0 rings.
Bob thought that guy was intelligent.
Like,
That's his final comeuppance. What do you want? That's where it's finally revealed that he's
Just
got
looks
problems.
like a huge dipshit in that shot. I'm just saying.
like the thing that's really funny about being Supersonic here and watching your ring count tick down is it in original Sonic 3, because the the very final boss of it on its own could knock you out of your super form, it was actually sometimes in your interest to get caught as your ring count was running down so you'd have something to catch on to if you took a hit.
I think
later on.
they so-called fixed that here. Also, like, you can't fall off the edges, but they did just increase
Yes.
the width of the platform, which seems to
Oh.
me like they screwed it up. I don't like that.
Yeah, but
I don't
didn't even
like it
risk
either. It
going
doesn't
out.
make a lot of sense to me.
Like,
But they-
I can't fall, but you can't jump here either. It's just a little area where you can't jump. See,
Like-
doesn't hurt you at all. It should just dunk you out of it. That wasn't a bug as far as I'm concerned.
Like, Sonic 3 Air, I think, had it right. You just force Sonic to be stuck within the bounds of the platform, effectively, so you can't accidentally run off of it.
the walls and shit.
The invisible blocks.
I mean, if you lengthen the platform, I don't think anyone would mind,
Yeah, I don't think.
and you could do it without breaking anything, but
Which Sonic is this here? Like
This
Sonic
is
is like
the Sonic Origins port of Sonic 3 Knuckles.
yes.
okay.
The very finale of Sonic 3 Origin.
Why can I
Sonic
only
is
hit him
like-
once? Oh, this.
You can hit at the edges.
You're supposed to be able to jump on him like an insta-shield. Well, whatever, he's dead. Hey, AV, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Blue.
Thus ends Sonic
you
3,
killed-
moving into the Sonic and
You
Knuckles?
killed
With
as
zero
regular Sonic.
range, destitute
The super
Sonic.
was in you all
Yes,
along.
like you literally lost your last ring right as you got that final hit in.
Which is kind of beautiful
Okay,
enough
and
that you
they're
don't mostly
playing like the Sonic 3 ending theme here, which I guess makes sense, but also just feels kind of weird.
The ending of that movie, like Rookie of the Year.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, like he falls
Finally,
and
the
he
Sonic-based
refixes
remake.
his arm in the final pitch of the World Series, right? And he doesn't have his super speed anymore.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And he fucking he throws like a lob and somehow gets the final pick.
Yeah, gets the final out.
That's what you just did. You got the last hit as regular ass Sonic.
Yeah.
You lost your fastball.
Oh fuck, you're right.
Also, have any of you noticed yet that there's a secret Mania-style cool bonus in the level score tally?
No, I
Nope.
haven't noticed.
Oh, okay. That's why the numbers do not add up in the end.
Okay, that sprite I do not like. That is a bad sprite.
Oh, that's upsetting looking.
Oh, yeah. I don't see why they wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
weird.
the
that they
rotation-
polish.
The rotation doesn't look natural at all, because he's just, like, kind of pivoting in place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a little weak.
Yeah.
I would have just kept it as is. Actually, what I might have done was replace the emeralds that show up on that screen
Kind of why,
with the
admittedly,
larger emeralds
because-
from the special stage results screen.
because the original game like had like so many cheated angles with the original series, I guess. They what else was I gonna say? That's why modern
cheating
Sonic
that many
exists.
angles. It was much more just like, oh, it's 2D, so you just accept it.
Yeah,
Just let Sonic
kind
look
of
up
why.
for a second.
Yeah.
That's
Sonic will
why
just
they
look
had
up.
to make modern Sonic like straight up, so it would actually like make sense in a three-dimensional world.
Like, if you ask me how they should have been posed, you should have had Sonic on one side, Tails on the other. They're both looking up toward the center of the stage, and then all of the stuff happens around them. Like, they don't reposition themselves. I think it just looks kind of weird and cheap and bizarre.
Yeah. That's a good way.
Also,
that's a
what
good
do you
way to
guys
put it.
think about the ring count always counting down in the special stages? I don't know if I'm a fan.
I'm not. I mean, it's okay. Like, it's not something that I would have even really noticed had you not pointed it out to me.
Yeah, I
guess
just
it
noticed
is-
too.
goal.
It is a change, but like, it's not a change I'm terribly like.
Especially for
Passed over.
new players, which is presumably why it was
Yeah,
made, I
because
see
like
why they did.
getting perfect on the special stages, not really easy. At least not.
It's neither easy nor is it obvious that there's something for it when
Yeah.
it's counting up.
Yeah,
When it's
like
counting
it-
down, you get the implication of like, oh, something happens when you
Yeah,
go.
like when it's counting down, you get a stronger impression of, oh, so there is a way to get perfect, and that is the number I have to shoot for.
Right. I think it makes more sense in the anniversary mode, at least.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, at the
I
very
don't know
least,
if
the
I
classic
totally
mode.
agree with it in classic mode, but I definitely think it's fine in anniversary mode.
Well, that's
There
the thing,
are no
classic mode-
continues
classic mode
anyway.
should
They're
just
just
be an
collecting
emulation
rings
mode
with
with some
element.
letterboxing. Like that's the
Yes.
part that annoys me the most.
Yes, I agree. I think it's frustrating. I think it was not great to do it that way. And
Like,
it
in an
really
ideal
confuses
world,
me
classic mode
why.
would be a straight emulation.
I mean, all of the systems that are getting this have the emulator for the Sega Genesis Classics. So there was no reason that they couldn't have embedded the ROMs and just did like a remote call to say, instead of displaying the Retrosonic engine stuff, you just display the stuff from the emulator on front of the engine instead.
Please use a
Hey,
better
this-
emulator
watching
than
this makes me
earlier
think like
Sega Genesis collection.
what watching this just makes me think like, damn, Freedom Planet 2 is actually coming out in a couple months.
I
I
have,
give that
I
another
played
try. I
like
thought
20
Freedom
minutes
Planet 1
of the
was
first Freedom Planet. I found the game charming. I wasn't a huge fan of it otherwise, and
I
the voice
love
cutscenes
gameplay.
pissed me off something fierce. Like that.
What I
Fuck
did is
this.
like I did my first playthrough on classic mode, which has like no cutscenes. And then I just watched I watched like William Liam's legendary Let's Play of the first game to understand the context of the story.
The story didn't bother me. I just thought the game was kind of.
I mean, I'm glad I play on classic mode. I don't think the story's bad, but it's very much like it's an acquired taste.
Like I say, the story didn't bother me. I just thought the actual game was kind of.
I didn't. I
I remember,
by
like,
the
that-
game, and,
but, like, the
the
crazy thing is-
story that annoyed me was the
What's
voice
What's
acting.
Freedom Planet? Like
Yeah.
this Sonic thing you're talking about?
Yeah,
It
no,
was conceived
It was
as
made
like
as a Sonic fan game. It was like displayed at like their fan game like website and everything. And then it somehow
Sage,
got
but now
Sega.
every indie game's at Sage now, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, it's a thing.
Yeah, but at the time that was rare.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is Sonic Sega fan game blah blah blah. Freedom Planet 2. That game was announced December of I want to say 2015. I had just started college when it was announced. I have since graduated, and I've been working for like 3 years now, and the game's finally coming out, and I just got a Palm Beach County kidnapped child Amber Alert.
That's fucked up.
I hope that's not related.
Did you?
I'm not
Do you
getting
need
into
to
my
stop?
area.
No, so Freedom Planet is just one of these indie games that just had a hellish dev cycle. Like,
Freedom Planet 2, at the very least, has been at some stage of development for like 7 years.
Oh
so
no,
yeah.
I just got it as well. Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I also
oh yeah,
say
that's
don't-
a sign. That's
don't-
a sign of quality right there.
don't
just real.
announce your next game until don't announce your game until it's just about ready to come out. Don't announce it until the base game is basically done and you're not going to rework anything. That's what I've learned.
Works for
From it.
Nintendo.
I mean,
I mean,
It
Don't
was
just
everyone
tell them
else
because they
had
have
sit through
the
another
hype.
goddamn like fucking doesn't everyone have to sit through another goddamn like company presentation where someone's like, "Where's Hollow Knight 2?" Fuck you people.
They just put a trailer like a couple weeks ago, and that's why I'm
and
also like.
every goddamn like presentation for the past 4 years, I've had to sit through. Where's Hollow Knight 2? Are they shadow dropping Hollow Knight 2? Fuck you people.
oh
You're
man.
so
And that's why I'm like, don't announce your shit until it's completely ready.
Well, the problem is if you're a publicly traded company, you've got to announce that.
Well,
shit.
yeah,
Keep
but
the
Team
stock
Cherry
price up.
isn't publicly traded, so and Sabrina Deduro is not a publicly traded individual, so
Well, I mean, if you're making some sort of big eye furry shit game, then
I'm talking about like on an indie scale, not on a AAA
Yeah,
scale.
that's what I'm talking about. If you're making some sort of indie big-eyed furry shit, then if you don't get clout, you'll die. And so the
Sure,
way you get more
But
clout
you
is
can
you
build
announce
clout
things
like
and then
surprisingly
never.
fast if
and then never
your
do it.
product is polished. I know this because
Fanboy, work with me, back me up, man. The best way to build
What?
clout would be to announce, you know, the furriest game of all time, and
I'm
then
gonna announce. I'm
then
gonna see.
release-
Here's the thing.
release
game is
like,
gonna
some
be the
concept art
boringest
and
game
then
of all
never ever release anything, and keep blaming your audience for the reason you never
So what
you never release
what I was
anything.
going to actually say is that like high quality is the best cloud. It's like that's super survivorship bias. Like so many great indie games come out and no one fucking ever hears about them.
Oh yeah. I
No,
mean, what
wait.
Project Zomboid has been in active development for 9 years? Like 3 years of that, they did not have like a single release. Like,
I wouldn't even remember what that was.
well, because for a few years, like fucking nothing came out in Project Zomboid, and now now it's got releases again. And it's getting the streamers and the YouTube videos, and like it's getting some shit now. But for a long time, you know, nothing. And I guess what I'm saying is like, it's if you're that indie developer and you've got that personal brand, how do you get that brand? How do you get seen? You make noise somehow. Any way you can.
Yeah, there's a reason you've heard of like Phil Fish, but you haven't heard of like 90% of the other people who have made that exact kind of indie platform.
I think
Yeah, exactly.
part of the reason we've all heard of Phil Fish is because Phil Fish is a legendary asshole.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the point. That's the
Exactly.
point I'm making exactly.
Yes,
No
that is
one's out there
literally
being
the
like,
point.
"Oh yeah, Jerry
Anyways,
Chan.
I used
yeah,
to-
Jerry Chan. He's great. He made that game that had like the really sweet triple jump. Like, well, no, the 17 people have played this hypothetical Jerry Chan's game, including his college roommate and his sister-in-law.
It hurts.
Jerry Chan? What?
It's a joke. It's a hypothetical person.
It's a hypothetical
Oh,
guy.
okay. Yeah. So, yeah, you just gotta hire someone who knows how to do marketing. But also,
So
what I was going to say
expensive.
before I get cut off again is I used to joke about, like, the goal for me to release my next product is before Freedom Planet 2 comes out. And I can't do that anymore. And I don't want to do Yandere Sim because that's low-hanging fruit. Fuck it, what's in the game? Burrito Galaxy. My next game is gonna be out before Burrito Galaxy is out.
Why not just come out before fucking Star Citizen?
Oh yeah.
That's also low-hanging fruit.
Because Star Citizen is a money laundering scheme. That's also low-hanging fruit.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, if the concern is low-hanging fruit, then I get it. Yeah.
What's another
Yeah.
good one? Shit. I'm trying to think. Like maybe you can do some of those announced in E3, right? Wasn't this like the E3 that had a bunch of games announced that were literally just like one piece of concept art?
That's every
I
E3,
think
Oh, okay.
I think the greatest example of something being announced at E3 that should not have been announced at E3 is Bad Rats 2.
And that came out.
It did
It
come out.
sucked, but it came out.
Yeah,
It did
I
come
mean,
out,
I'm sure
but
it
the
had a
fact that
very
the
short
fact that,
development
its
time.
trailer was explicitly stated to be the E3 trailer is.
Oh, I know what to do
Yeah,
now.
forget
I know what to do now. My next game is gonna be out before Brave Earth Prologue.
That's just pointlessly. That's just needlessly mean to Kane.
I'm sorry.
Wait. How long has
Okay,
Kane been working on that one,
Like
by the
12
way?
years.
I think the first time I heard rumblings about Brave Earth Prologue was when it was like actually a prologue to something else, and that was like 2012.
When it was actually a pro.
I remember being on the call where he gave it to Speedrunner, Metroid Speedrunner, and also like old talking time to Garrison. He gave an
Yeah.
alpha of it to
Whoa.
Garrison. And that was
I played a beta of it like 4 years ago. It was really good then.
Oh yeah, no, it still is really good. It has been really
Yeah.
good, but like it's not done.
It's in that like last. It's been in that last stage.
It's been in that last like
I
push
can
for a while.
See what
and I
this
get the
is
impression that Kane
Kane's
is just
in
kinda
that
tired
like.
of working on it and doesn't really want to fuck with
yeah.
it that much more.
No, that's it. That's why. That's why. Remember that movie, The Thief and the Cobbler? Like where that.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can be in
He
polish
was like
forever.
working on it in his dining room for like 71 years, and then finally, like Warner Brothers or somebody was like, "No, fuck you. We're releasing this."
Yeah. I forget who actually got a hold of that. I think it was like Miramax or some shit. Some horror.
Yeah.
It was, yeah, it might have been Miramax. Let me check.
I feel like
What I'm saying is that-
there's like a risk that Kane will find out about this conversation and be like, "Heard you were talking shit."
Yeah, it was.
I think Kane would just be
Miramax.
sad.
Yeah, no, and I don't want to make Kane sad because I like.
Yeah, no, like.
I
'Cause
don't
I
want to. I'm
understand.
not gonna use Spep for that. If anything, yeah, it's probably just gonna be Burrito Galaxy.
But yeah, to tie a bow on that, I understand like why it's so hard to be like, is this done? What like or like and from what I can understand, there are some things about that that are still not quite done. But it's
Sure.
one of those things where like I can understand like why it's hard to declare, especially once a project becomes that long, why it's hard to just say, okay, it has to be done now.
That's one of the advantages of having a small team of people you trust compared to being a solo dev, is that
Yeah.
you could just go to them as like a conscience or a second opinion.
Yeah.
It's like in my job, there's really there's really no point at which an investment memo is done.
And that's why also the other thing about working a small team is like, if we fail, at least we fail together.
Yeah, exactly.
At least we're all homeless now.
It depersonalizes the failure. But no, the point is you have one of two choices. You either have someone near you or above you who is like, no, this is done, go.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have someone in mind that you're preparing this for, and you just get to the point where like, okay, this person I have in mind would accept this. It's done.
There are two choices. You can either be a saint or you can be a Grinch.
But yeah, like I mean, like when you see like like those tortured long dev cycles. Oftentimes, like the things that actually in AAA, the things that actually end up forcing those products to be released is that it's like someone gets called in to play Hatchet Man.
I've been working on my current game for like 3 years. I'm barely done with the first chapter. I have Unity open right now. I have Unity open right now, and I still feel like I'm not getting this done fast enough.
Yo, you know who would have a good sense of humor about this is Zodar. Zodar just dropped design doc for a game she's working on. I bet she would enjoy the horse race. It's like a not style, but almost like a blood. You know, remember blood?
Oh yes, the blood-like.
Yep. Yeah, it's a blood-like.
Like is it like the first-person shooter blood?
Yeah. And the idea is that you are your first person. Instead of a gun, you have a hand that's been turned into a monster. Because Sodar we're talking about, and like your monster hand can either like spit monster
monster energy.
Monster energy, yeah. That's like one of the gags. Like there's humors. You can drain the humors from the bodies of monsters and you shoot the humors back at them, or you use your melee attack and you swallow their organs, and then their organs give you like powers. It sounds really gross.
So when's she gonna obtain the Parasite license?
What's her Twitter, by the way?
It's at like ZODACOO, Zodaku.
Oh, okay. Let me see
if you were on, were you on Talking Time back in the day? Because if you were,
yeah, I know who this is now. I remember them.
Were you on Talking Time ever, or like?
Was I ever? No.
No. Okay. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. You met me on Twitter, and I think I'm like your point of entry for knowing all these people. I think.
Yeah, for the most
I'm
part.
pretty
You
sure.
and like HG101 technically by proxy.
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna say you sound a little young to be a Bronto, which was the other possibility aside from Twitter.
I'm 20. I'm
people
25.
who aren't 40 years old. Yeah, I mean, which people who aren't 40 years old can use.
Yeah, I'm 37. Like.
Right. Yeah.
I'm the young one here, and I'm 30.
Yeah.
I'm technically, because I was born in late '96, I'm considered to be a Zillennial, which means I could either be a Zoomer or a Millennial.
Terrified.
You should totally claim Gen Z. 100%.
Yeah, I lean
if I
towards
could, I would
up here.
totally claim Gen Z. I can't. I'm a millennial.
Yeah.
So like,
I'm
to separate myself from this horrible like generation that I'm definitely a part of.
For real.
I'm at the very edge of millennial, and it pisses me off.
Well, if I had been born 1 year earlier, I'd be Gen X, and I would just be the saddest man alive. But
As doesn't know and afraid of Gen X.
Wait, so are you 81 or 80?
I am 81.
Years
Okay,
old.
so same boat as me then.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
we just reached, or we just missed the Gen X cutoff.
Yeah, exactly. No, my rule for cutoff for Gen X is: were you born after Bonzo put his hand on the Bible? If you were born after Reagan is inaugurated, you are a millennial.
I mean, yeah, makes sense.
Bad times today.
The game I'm working on
really bothers me.
The game I'm working on has more finishers.
What's a finisher? Like Mortal Kombat?
Like Glory Kills and Doom.
Ah, okay.
Oh yeah, that's good. You need that.
You need those.
Yeah.
No man, Doom Eternal. My laptop is aging. I can't play Doom Eternal, but I am like at work. We just closed 40 million in funding, so it's like
Nice. That is baller.
Dude, it's
That's
great.
walking around
It's great. That's why we got
What do
walking
you
around money.
like? What?
I'm in venture capital, so like. We
Right.
just
Okay.
closed
I know
40
a
million.
friend who works for one of my best friends. Literally works for this company called FactSet. I don't know if you've heard of
Oh yeah,
them.
FactSet. I know them. Yeah.
Yeah.
FactSet's great. I love FactSet.
Yeah. He works for them as a software engineer remotely and makes like almost twice as much as me.
No, FactSet is the deal with the devil you have to make with FactSet. You're the most boring job in the fucking earth. They will pay you. Like they will pay you in fucking gold bars.
That's sort of where I'm at with well, I'm not going to say the name because I'm streaming, but you know, sort of where I'm at.
Honestly, I will
The
take boring and
company I work for is a lot more like we're a defense contractor on paper, but we
Mhm.
just make like simulations. Like, hey, here's how to fix this engine.
Oh, you know
And-
what? That is
And
important.
that's sort of relatable because my company is also a defense contractor, but I don't do any defense contracting work. 'Cause it's all
I-
white stuff.
You're,
blame
you're
very
in the
much
part
like,
of the, you're in the
I-
part of the company
things I
that
will
Sega
never-
would have done a joint venture with back in the day.
Sega
oh,
would
this is
have
the Model 4.
Yes, actually, yes.
nice. Are you in Florida by any chance? Okay, the other person who was the defense contractor person.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
me?
I
Oh,
don't.
no.
Yeah, hide
New
your
Mexico.
power level. If you're talking any job with a clearance, hide your power level.
Right. Shit. What was I gonna say again? Is one thing I will never work on. I have 2 rules in regards to being a software developer. I don't ever want to make things that kill people, and I don't ever want to make things that use people's data without or private information without their consent.
That's just having
That
a
means
soul.
you have approximately 14 jobs available.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, and
Good-
the one
good
the
luck.
one I'm at uses Unity, so hey.
Hey, good enough.
Hmm.
Like, I am genuinely astounded that I have one of those jobs and I didn't have to relocate for it.
Good on you.
Like,
That's
I literally got it, like, basically right when I was sort of at everyone, really. The department, myself, we were all, like, at the fuck this moment of grad school. And I responded to an email and they managed to hire me.
Honestly,
The problem
uh,
is I have to
fucking
read
lucky.
some of the worst code known to man and I have to modify it, but, you know, I think that's a
Congratulations on
small
being
price to
software
pay.
engineer.
Speaking of grad school, by the way, have you ever seen this YouTube channel from this guy called Bobby Broccoli? He does like these I don't know if you're familiar with John Boyce at all from like SB Nation.
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, everybody loves John Boyce. John Boyce.
Everybody.
Yeah. So have you seen Bobby Broccoli by any chance?
Yeah, yeah.
I have not, no.
Nope,
He's
never
the dude
seen
who
him.
made the Super Collider collection, right?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that guy.
Okay, so Peter already knows. So
Yeah.
basically, Bobby Broccoli is like he has a very similar style to John Boyce, like Google Earth and everything, but his videos cover more or less science and academia, as opposed to John Boyce covering sports and like stuff tangentially related to sports. It's really good. Like the first documentary series he did was on Jan Hendrik Schoen. I don't know if you're familiar with that name at all.
Yeah, I watched
Drawing a
that.
blank.
The dude who basically faked his way into almost getting a Nobel Prize.
Yeah. And then he did like another like 2-part series on the Bogdanov where I really don't want to spoil how they got there. Like the reason that he gave for like what they got like PhDs in the first place. And then the latest one is on the superconducting super collider.
What time is it? How long have we been at
It
this?
is.
It is 10 o'clock, 10
10
o'clock.
for you.
So I've been at this an hour and a half. That's
420
not like...
on the timer though!
Oh, good.
Heyo.
Nice. Yeah, after this level I might call for the evening, because Gogglebob, when he streams, normally goes for like 3 hours. I just don't have that kind of a
I had to sit through so much goddamn Silver the Hedgehog. It felt
So,
That was
speaking of
so
which,
bad.
Bob, I heard that after I left, you actually solved that fucking physics puzzle.
Yeah.
Wait, the 8-ball one?
Yeah, what happened?
Awesome.
Yep.
Why would you do that?
I
to
haven't
yourself,
even
though?
done that. I cheated my way through that like everyone else.
A lot of these
How did you
enemies,
do it?
like these like little mouse guys, and there's other enemies that do this too. They look like the fucking vacuum cleaner from Teletubbies.
They're supposed to look like computer mice.
I can see that.
Very early 90s reference.
I can see that, but there are other enemies in like other zones that have those like say blue shell with like big bulging eyes, and I just keep thinking of that vacuum cleaner from Teletubbies.
Callie, for the record, the trick to getting through that is to split yourself through the door
Yeah.
by
Like-
floating on a box, I believe.
Yes, you basically stand on the box, and the box doesn't quite respond to collision the same way the player does. or at least when you're standing on the box, like the box might have collision, but you're just sort of there on the ride with the box.
You're like a weird ghost.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Goggle
So
ball.
you can sort of phase through the floor, or through the wall rather, like at the edge of where the door to the next room is, and then you just pass through the door, and then you're at the end of the level. It still took me a number of tries to do it.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, it's not easy.
Frustrating level to S rank, even with cheating, but good
It's not
God,
easy, but it
100%
is.
Sonic
Like about 3
2006.
Knuckles, what was the thing
They'll never
called?
take that from me.
This is Sonic 06.
Oh, that one, okay.
Goggle ball. I have a.
But, like,
The desert
this doesn't have
level.
S ranks.
So you're willing to cheat when it comes to every RPG you stream, every Mega Man Legends game you stream. But then
Oh, we
this
did
is
not-
where you
we did
draw
not
the
tell
line.
him. Yeah,
Like,
no,
I've
like,
got to solve this fucking physics
This is
puzzle.
where we just found the magic moment where Goggle Bob is like, no, I'm doing this proper.
No, it's actually just that we didn't tell him about it.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah,
until
literally did not.
That's even
if I
better.
cheated,
Like the
first time I
person
beat
playing
this game,
Sonic 06
I do not remember
needs
it.
to suffer. If they don't suffer, then what are you doing in your life?
Like I felt like you need to do that horrible creation properly the first time.
Yeah.
Again, I definitely did it at least once in my life. I don't know if I cheated it or not, but one way or another, I have beaten that entire game legitimately.
I never even played it.
Same. It's extremely bad.
I know.
I mean, I think some of the levels are interesting, but there's just so much stuff that you have to get through in between it that it's not really worth it. In the age of Sonic Generations, it's more of an interesting novelty than anything. Like, you can play it, it's a little bit better than its reputation, but it's not really a particularly good game.
I do love
Like, if
the
you are-
fact that apparently, like in terms of speedrunning, it's extremely consistent.
Oh, yes. The game is perfectly happy to let you break every aspect of it and try to chug along as much as possible. Every aspect of the game is just suggestions, really. And that is something that I do genuinely enjoy about it, but for
Geneva
someone who wants to
Convention? More
understand
like-
Sonic 06 without playing it, play the PC port that some fans did, because it's...
Geneva,
So
it's like
much
everything is
closer to-
suggested, including the Geneva Convention. That's why the Geneva suggested.
What was I gonna say? I would honestly argue that Shadow the Hedgehog is probably a worse game.
Yeah, I'd say so. Since I've played both
Oh
to
man,
completion,
I
I'd
told
say that
somebody about Shadow the Hedgehog's level path names for the first time. They had no
Oh
idea
god,
about
because
it.
there's like hundreds of the goddamn
There
Yes,
are
and they're
300
all
over
like
300.
Mad Libs.
One of those crazy things I learned about like Shadow the Hedgehog's like level path thing is I didn't realize this until a couple weeks ago by realizing, wait a minute, this is just Outrun.
Yeah, the game is Outrun, and then all of
Kinda.
the path names are like levels from Rondo of Blood.
Outrun.
But I mean,
Outrun's
it's like
good, though.
Which path is called Crucifix Held Close?
Rondo of Blood is a good video game. It looks like the thing Eggman is on a ball.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Cool.
Did they actually
Never
correct that
accused
graphic
Skinner
in the
of
Knuckles
turkey.
version, I wonder?
Yeah, I think they.
They have
did-
corrected it,
they
yes.
did correct it, yes.
Yes. I still think it's weird placing this in between Mushroom Hill and Sandopolis. I really think it is a better level to put between Carnival Night and Ice Cap.
That
But
would
I am a
you know
weird
what?
heretic
You know what,
kind of guy
actually,
with weird
straight up,
Sonic opinions.
between like that would actually be really good because like Carnival Night to Ice Cap, it just fades out, doesn't it? Like
No,
just
no.
fa-
Actually, in
You get a
Carnival Nights and
cannon.
Ice Cap, you get shot from the cannon into it. That's the way it's supposed to go.
oh, and you already have the
I
snowboard.
managed to
Well, you
find
could get
some
shot
sort of
from the
incredible
cannon
new
in a flying
bug
battery.
tonight, which caused that. But anyway, I'm calling it there. That's enough streaming.
All
for
right.
this
Good
evening.
night.
This is a good
Have
point
a
to call
good
it a
one.
night. Yes, I
Have a
agree.
good evening.
All right, so
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Good.
Origins. It's not bad, but it should have been better.
It feels like something is wrong.
Yeah, like it. It just.
It doesn't sound right.
It doesn't.
It doesn't sound right.
I'm much less bothered by the sound than by all the other shit. But yeah, there are issues. There are issues. All right.
All right.
Thanks for hanging out. Stream over.